Okay, so in the last video we created our Spring Boot application, our first Spring Boot application, and now we will see how to use this. So first of all, I can run this application. Now where do we write the code? We write the code in our package name com.shopify or Shopify. Now this name will change according to what name you had specified during the creation of the project. Now coming down to this, you can see the Tomcat server started on port 8080. So this is running. Now let's say I want to create a basic simple Java file. Let's say I want to create a hello controller, which will respond me as hello or hello world. So I'll create a basic. Obviously, we need to create this in folders, but I'm just showing you a basic here. Now this is a controller. I'll explain what is controller service repository in the added videos. Just see for now. For this is a controller. After that, we'll need to create a function, correct? To return the response of hello world, we'll need to create a function. So public void hello, okay, something like this. This is the function, and then we can just do return hello world, a string, or you could also say hello class. And see, that is giving error because it is returning our string and we have kept the return type as void. So just convert this into string. Okay, so we have basically created our first controller here. Now inside here, see, when we need to run this function, we need to go to a particular endpoint. Now how will we specify that endpoint? There are 5 methods here. First of all, the basic one is you can use the request mapping. In that you can specify the endpoint, that is slash, the basic endpoint, and you need to specify the method. So we know that in RESTful API there is CRUD operation, that is create, read, update or delete. And talking in other terms, there is get, post, put and delete. So we can specify which particular endpoint is this. For this you can use request methods. Now request method is basically providing us several methods which are present. So what different types of methods are present? To check this, just press control space. You can see there is delete, there is get, there is head, put, options, patch, post, etc. What we are most important to is delete, get, put and post. So for example, this is going to be get method, right? Because we are not going to give any data here, we are just going to get some data. This particular string. So request method dot get. So I'll just run this application for this to work. Then we go to our Insomnia, or you can also go to your Postman, whichever you prefer. So I will open the Insomnia. The Tomcat server started successfully below. Okay. So on the Insomnia, what you need to do is create a collection. So if I just come outside, create a basic collection. This is for proper maintenance. All our requests in our project, there are going to be multiple requests. So why not just create a good collection and keep all it there. So I just created a new collection named Shopify. Just go inside. Now we can create a new request. See the get, the method is going to be get, correct? The method is going to be get. What is the URL? See, we are running this Spring Boot application on our localhost. So just write http/localhost. And we just need to specify the port number. So our port number is 8080. On our Tomcat server, the port number is 8080, right? And then just slash, because our endpoint is slash. So I can just put a slash. The method is get method, and then I'll just say. Now we see here it is giving us 404 not found. So we are getting an error named 404 not found. But we had created this endpoint, correct? So why is this error coming? See, Insomnia is used to test REST APIs, correct? We are not going to say any HTML file, etc. here. Now what we have done a small mistake here is we written a controller. So basically, when do we use the controller annotation? We use it when we need to return some HTML files or some body from our Spring Boot application. For example, I can just return an index, for example this, and then within our resources folder we need to create a new static folder. There's already a static folder present, and then we can create a new file name index.html there, and then it will return it there. But we are creating a RESTful API, so instead of controller we need to use REST controller. So just remember this, we are not going to use controller, we are going to use REST controller. Both are from the Spring framework. Okay, so now this should work. Let's check. I'll just change this back to hello stars. So this should basically work. Now we do not need to stop and rerun because if you remember, we already downloaded DevTools. So it just updated. Let's just see. Okay, it is taking a little time. Just started here. Now it should run properly. You can see hello stars. So this is how you can use our Insomnia. Now instead of writing this big line, there is also a small line which you can use here, which is @get mapping. This is a small annotation. This is only for method get, and then you can just specify the endpoint. So for example slash, or let's say it is slash hello. I'll just stop and rerun. Okay, so slash hello. Now if we try to access the same URL again, it should give me an error. So let's just see. There we go. Okay, couldn't connect to server because it was starting there. Okay, 404 not found. So I'll just write it as hello. Let's send here. You can see we are receiving the hello task. So this is how we are going to use our Spring Boot and our Insomnia for our testing of our RESTful API. In the next video, we'll just start with our controller service and repositories. Thank you.